Yeah, I think we're in the off-season stuff. We've been, we won 11 last year, which was great, but that's kind of in the past. We're really and truly, our goal is BCS. I mean, we feel like we need to put ourselves in a chance to play for a BCS title. I think without the Big 12 championship game, you got to win virtually every game on your schedule. So I think we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, in a good way. I think we got a lot of firepower back on both sides of the ball. I think we got a chance to be pretty good, but on the same time, our schedule's going to be tougher. We got to go on the road and play some tough games. But we got high expectations. We got a lot of guys who can make a lot of plays. Not really. I mean, I wanted to. My biggest deal, the reason I waited so long is I wanted to make sure I made the right decision. If I did, come back, I want to make sure it was the right decision, and vice versa. But I think I'm excited about it. I'm really. Once I made my decision, I didn't ever look back. I mean, I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I think I made the right decision when it's all said and done.
Chris Winkie, did you talk to him? He's been through his program.
Yeah, I mean that's the comparison everybody always brings up, but I didn't get a chance. I didn't talk to him much.
Did you say that your expectations on the play for the national? I would say what are your expectations? Were you saying
just a BCS?
That, or would you expound on that?
Yeah, I mean, we as a competitor, we want. Our goal is, our goal is to play in a BCS game. Expectations. We won 11 last year. We expect to win that many, if not more. We had, against Oklahoma and Nebraska, two very, very good football teams. Just came up a couple points short. I think it was 8 in one and 6 in the other, whatever it may be. But yeah, we got to learn to win those big games. When the time does come. I mean, when the Oklahoma game, it kind of came down to that game, and we came up 6 points short. So, yeah, I think our goal is to play in a BCS title game. We expect to win 11 or 12 games or more.
You're pretty happy when Blackman said he's coming back.
Yeah. He's hard to communicate with, and we were talking throughout the whole process, and I couldn't really get much out of him one way or the other. But finally, I knew this. I wanted to come back, and I asked him what he thought, and he said, "Let's do it." And so it was that easy. I guess I should have done it earlier. I guess.
What stands out about him? I mean, such a great year. The numbers on the last year. What stands out about him?
I mean, physically, you guys see what he does. I mean, everything he does is he's kind of a freak. But I think what people don't see is how smart he is, how savvy as far as reading defenses, understanding what the defense is trying to do, and just in adjusting, route adjusting, and stuff like that. I mean, he's very good at that thing, which is why he had so many catches last year. But the guy competes. I mean, one thing in practice, he's the hardest worker in practice, hands down. There's nobody that works harder than him. And whether he's having a good day or a bad day, he's still running. He's 110% all the time, and that rubs off. Those other receivers see that, and it rubs off.
You're a three-sport guy. You didn't miss any spring practice. You played some golf.
Played a little bit. That was a blast. I played with those guys. Ever since I've been at Oklahoma State, and just getting the opportunity to, they let me walk on and be around the team as much as possible, and I enjoyed it. I was very thankful. Coach McGraw, he didn't have to do that. It was nice of him to do that, and my golf game definitely got better. Playing Carson Creek every day, you got to hit it straight, and it's nice when you go play Carson Creek. And Dean knows. I mean, you got to hit it straight. If you don't, you might as well not look for your ball. But you go play other courses, you can spray it a little bit, and makes playing those other courses a lot easier.
After football, could that be an option? Senior tour down there?
Nah, I'm not. My game's not there yet. Not there yet.
What differences will there be with the new offensive coordinator?
Not much. I mean, maybe just a couple of route adjustments here and there, but it's really and truly 99.9% is all the same. Terminology is all the exact same. There was just a couple of route combinations that Coach Monken thought that would fit what we do better. Put Blackman back in the read. There's a couple of plays where he wasn't even really in the reads, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think that, and he's got to call the plays, so he's got to feel comfortable about it, and then we also have to feel comfortable executing it. So he saw what we did last year. We had a good year last year. There's no reason to fix it if it's not really broken. So.
Teammates say you're good supported by your age, and they kid you about senior discounts, things like that. Is that kind of old news now? They still kid you?
That's old news. If I never had to answer that question again, I'd be happy with it. Trust me, that's old news.
It's different. Are you married?
Married. 2 years Wednesday.
You don't have a child.
No, no kids. No kids.
Plans?
Yeah, what's that?
Plans for kids?
I have way too much on my plate. I'll see what happens, next year and go from there. I mean, there's no telling.
How many people have talked about your being drafted in baseball and it being about the Yankees? Can you talk about that experience?
It was unreal. I mean, I grew up a Yankee fan, so it was kind of just a childhood dream to play for the Yankees. Playing with the pinstripes in the Yankee Stadium and that whole deal. And when I got drafted, second-round pick. They didn't have a first-round pick that year, so I was their first pick, and so it was a pretty special day. I mean, I was in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, on my senior trip the day I got drafted, and ended up getting drafted. Called my mom and dad, and racked up about a $350 phone bill from the hotel lobby phone, and a lot of people in my house. They're excited, and played 2 years with those guys, and enjoyed every minute of it. Got better. See, I was a closer in high school, and they turned me into a starter. So there's a transition, a change up there. And then in 04, I got traded, for Kevin Brown, and just went from one organization, which I feel like is the best organization in baseball, the Yankees, to another good one in the Dodgers. And I enjoyed it. Played 5 years and loved every minute of it.
Do you ever feel like, you weren't born into money and born to third base, but do you ever feel like you've lived kind of a charmed life because your high school, three-sport, all-stater, Yankees, now such success in
Yeah, I mean, I definitely realize it. I don't take it for granted. I mean, I've been pretty blessed. I haven't had many bumps in the road. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surreal. People always say, I want your life. I'm like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, but yeah, I've experienced a lot of really cool things. I'll be able to tell a lot of stories when I'm older, and if I can remember them. There's been so much that's gone on in 27 years that it's kind of surreal. But this is kind of, last year was kind of almost icing on the cake. Hopefully this football season can kind of seal the deal.